Hey, welcome to Guitar Knobs, the guitars, gear, noise, and nonsense podcast, hosted today by these knobs.
Tony Dudzik, pick guardian.
Hey, Brandon one pickups.
Hey everybody, it's me, Todd Novak. Welcome to the Guitar Knobs podcast. We are thrilled that you are listening to the show alongside of us. It's like you're right here, but you're not. Actually, nobody is. We're all in separate places, so I guess that's pretty much paints the whole picture of how our show normally is for you, the listener.
That's right.
The socially distant.
The
podcast.
socially distant listener. Yeah. I'm sure someone's come up with that at this point.
Probably.
Yeah. We have a super fun show. I know it's going to be super fun because I've talked to our guest briefly and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I'm really excited for this show. Who are you, guest?
Mike Burnt from Pedal of the Day.
Oh my goodness. Pedal of the Day of Instagram fame.
He's quick too.
Yeah, he's quick on the draw. And he's fun to talk to. So I think that will make him fun to listen to for all of you who aren't talking to him right now. Tony Baloney, what do we do on the show, pal?
Well, we like to talk to and about the boutique gear builders and movers and shakers. And that would be things like guitars and amps and pedals and accessories and all the good stuff.
Yeah.
Correct, Amundo.
We get the story behind the story.
Once in a while, we have one-on-ones.
And I think today we have a mover and or a shaker.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Indeed.
Maybe.
So if you're not familiar, sorry for that big giant sigh there. If you're not,
I'll do it better next time, Todd. Don't hit me again.
If you're not, for some reason, one of the 65,000 people who know who follow Mike on Pedal of the Day on Instagram, go over there now and check out what this channel is all about. Actually, he just posted something awesome, which doesn't matter when you listen to it. It's going to be a new post, and it'll be awesome because he posts just about every day, don't you, Mike?
Yeah, just about every day. Actually, I think I post every day, but the Pedal of the Day has been whittled down to 3 to 4 times a week.
Gotcha.
Just, 7 days a week.
False advertising.
Yeah. I did it for a number. I did it for a number of years, and then I had to dial it back a little bit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's still close. Still close.
Same like Tony. Anyways, snuck that one in. Hey, now. All right. So we are going to have a great time talking to him about his channel and why his channel is important, especially for us guitar enthusiasts, guitar gear enthusiasts, pedal enthusiasts specifically. We got a few people to thank. We need to thank Rode Mics for providing our Rodecaster Pro. It's an awesome box that's capturing our jaw movements and noises. It is a fantastic machine, and we encourage you, if you are thinking about starting a podcast, recording yourself, doing any old kind of thing that takes a mic signal and makes it better into your computer, you can use this. So check them out at Rode Mics. And also for the Procaster mic. It is a mighty fine mic, and it's been serving us well, and we're grateful for Rode for providing that. I wanted to share something really quick. Speaking of pedals, we had a listener submission by Levi Main. Hey, so he's one of our new executive producers, very new. And he said, "Hey, I wanted to share my 4 on the floor." Starts out, I won't use the HX effects, even though Drew Foppy did it when he was on a few episodes ago, and also Jeff Schroeder, and we also talked about it on the previous podcast, on our last 101. If you want to hear about it, go listen to any of those podcasts, and you can hear more about it. Thanks for the plug, Levi. So he says, I'll start with the J Rocket Archer, the silver one, and that's a very small clone. Why doesn't someone make that pedal, for Pete's sakes? And then followed by the Analog Man, Prince of Tone. He's chasing all the big boys here. Whew.
Man.
And the other two are the Minor Glitch Super Fuzz, and the Boss multi-overtone. I'm not familiar with the Boss multi-overtone. Mike, are you?
Don't know that one.
Very curious.
Must be vintage.
Must be. Or it's so new that it's too cool
Not
for
out
us.
yet. Maybe.
I've found that by combining the fuzz and the Boss, it comes out sounding like a distorted octave organ. That sounds pretty cool. It works great for the intro line of Centerfold by the Jay Giles Band. That is very specific. Awesome. But hey, that's cool. I mean, that's a good reference. If you know that song, you're like, I know exactly what that little combo sounds like. So thanks for sharing that, Levi. And we love sharing our supporters on Patreon, whatever they've got to share for it with us, their gear, their Four on the Floors, and we encourage you to do so too by becoming a patron on Patreon. We'll tell you more about that later.
Speaking of the Jay Giles Band,
Yes.
did you know that Jay Giles was just a guitar player? There's a lot of folks out there that think Peter Wolf was, since he was the front man, might have been Jay Giles.
Huh. I did not know that.
Jay Giles was a guitar player who started the band, and then he claimed rights to the band name. So,
And did he leave?
well, he passed away a couple of years ago, but maybe a year or two ago.
I guess that counts. Sorry. That's-
So yes, he did leave
Yes, all right.
eventually. No, he stayed and just continued to play guitar. But he was the guy off to the side. Great guitar player. Had a lot of cool guitars.
Wow.
His name was actually Jerome.
Jerome Giles.
Yes.
It's hard to say Jerome Giles because you want to say Jerome Giles. I don't know why. Yeah, I do. But anyway.
That's probably why he shortened it to just Jay.
Well, thank you, Jerome Giles, for your contribution to our pop rock world. Okay. So there's a little bit of fun right there. Let's check in and see what we have been doing this week in our music worlds. We're going to kick off with Tony, and then Mike, let's check in with you. Do you think?
So, Todd, in
Yes.
my music world this week, I occasionally use a special trapeze tailpiece on a lot of my Rickenbackers that are. It's similar to what Rickenbacker used in the late 50s, early 60s, before they came out with the R tailpiece that everyone recognizes, with the letter R on it. And this one is a little more. I guess it's a little more simple design, but the reason that I like it is anybody who's ever tried to restring a Rick knows that those R-tail pieces are really tricky unless you have a bunch of masking tape underneath and just work the strings in. This one actually it's like a flat piece of metal and it has string holes cut into it, so it actually strings up so much easier. But long story, even longer. I usually get mine either from Rickenbacker or there's a Winfield vintage guitars. They make a replica, or a couple of other Rick dealers. They sell them, and they're usually, if you buy the bracket and the trapeze, it's usually anywhere from $80 to $100, which is a lot of money really for what a simple piece it is. But there was a guy on the Bay of E that down in Argentina that's making them. And I was a little skeptical at first. I said, well, maybe this is not going to look very good. I mean, some people have made them out of laser cut stainless. But this is an actual chrome plated piece that looks very, very good. And what was crazy, so it was $50 shipped from Argentina. Even crazier is it came via FedEx International, which, I totally expected with free shipping that it would only come, whatever, snail mail, first class, whatever. And it was here within a week, actually. And it's just very nice. I'm very happy with the purchase. And anybody that's out there looking, I think he goes by the name Guitar Restorer. All two words combined into one with just one R in the middle. So check it out.
Right on. Yeah, that's coming in handy because you got a lot of Rick action there.
Yeah, that is true.
That's cool. Excellent, Tony. Thank you. Mike, how about yourself?
Just been doing demos, working. Yeah, there's lots of editing to be done once the recording process is actually over. So that's kind of what I've been doing. What's today? Tuesday? All week. Yesterday and today.
Oh, I see.
I did recorded a demo for this crazy thing called the arcade machine. I don't know if you guys know RPS effects. He sent over that arcade machine, and that thing is
Wait, RPS is that different? That's different than the Cooper effects arcades.
that's the arcades. This is the arcade machine.
Okay, gotcha.
So yeah, we did. I demoed the arcades recently, and that thing is pretty incredible.
That's what we hear.
And so this arcade machine is a glitchy synth video game noise maker. It's awesome.
Cool.
So that's my fun one for the week so far.
Awesome. So everybody make sure you go over to Instagram and check that out and hear for yourself. And if you dig it, then go get yourself one.
Right on.
Jared.
You get a 3-in-1 today.
Oh,
So-
boy.
Yeah, the weirdest thing. The other day, I got a suspicious purchase on my credit card for $992. And I looked at I got online and looked at what it was, and it was an in-store purchase at a FedEx on the West Coast.
Nice.
So I was like,
How'd you get out there so fast?
I was like, that's not me. I didn't do that. So I got on PayPal and I was like, somebody stole my money. Blah, 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 blah. And then 4 days later, I got this paperwork in the mail from FedEx, and it was actually duty tax that I had to pay on some stuff I shipped in from overseas. So
wow.
it actually, So I was, it didn't look good. And there was documents from Homeland Security and all that sort of stuff. So I was like, I better get back to PayPal and tell them to go ahead and cancel that, that investigation on that purchase. So I did that.
Was that just on one order, or was that a?
That was one order.
Holy moly!
Yeah, I was on the.
That's a lot of duty.
Yeah, it was a big purchase. It was a lot of stuff. So I was on the Guitar Jerks podcast the other day. That was a lot of fun. Those guys were gracious enough to have me on and listen to me stumble on my words for an hour and a half, 2 hours. So thanks.
Welcome to our world.
That's right. So thanks to those guys. And so listen to my story on how I got onto the guitar knobs, because I told that story. And one more thing. Oh, I put a new pedal board together for the band I'm in now. And I think I'm using 2 native audio pedals from our good buddy Mikey. We haven't seen him in a while. I miss him. And then a Mutron thing, and actually 2 Mutron things.
Covering the bases there.
Yeah, the wah and wah volume, and then the octo fuzz that they have.
Yeah.
And then I have an old Yamaha stereo pedal. And that's about it. But I used the Tour Gear cords that I bought, and they are amazing, man. I bought all sorts of sizes and lengths, and the ones that go the opposite direction. It's hard to explain, but
they're called that's the S shape.
The S shape, correct? Thank you. So I'm glad I got a couple of S shapes, because I definitely use those. And so that's pretty much the fun of my week.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, because all patch cables go the opposite direction. Anyways,
They go both ways.
that's right. Okay.
I'm still recovering from the tone jerks, man.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
That was a.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Well, he had 2 podcasts in one night. So.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, it was a double header, man. It was a long night, and like I said, they were
just like
they were
patch
awesome.
cables.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly. All right. So, Todd, should we move along to the next segment?
Well, for my guitar business this week, I I was fortunate enough to on a rainy day pop out another song, and I was like, wow, this one's freaking awesome. I can't wait to play in 2 days. And I was just really excited and started practicing, some of the newer stuff that I got going on. And everybody's getting really excited because we haven't actually played together since April. And yeah, we've been exchanging songs, working on things, just kind of getting ready for us to feel okay enough to do it. And the day before, I got a text from my drummer who said, "Hey guys, I've been curled up in a ball all day. I have Lyme disease.
Wow.
Oh, that's not good.
So he got bit by a tick on a family outing, so they, they're pretty diligent. So I'm sure they're going to take, they've taken care of it the best they can. Where you run into, from what I understand, real lifelong problems is if you don't recognize what it is and you just think you're kind of sick,
Right.
And because that can lead to nerve damage and joint issues, and it can really ruin your life. And he's a drummer, so I don't need that happening. And he's a hell of a drummer. So anyhow, so you can squash a tick with this.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the floor.
All right, Mike Burnt from Pedal of the Day on Instagram. What is your 4 on the floor? It's going to be a good one.
All right. These could very well, change on a weekly to daily to hourly basis. But at the moment, my favorite 4 are these. I'm going to start with the Centura from our pal Nick at Seriatone Amplification in Kuala Lumpur. It is a clone. It is apparently the clone to get the world over. It comes in a housing that looks exactly like the original. The circuitry is super dialed in, painstakingly. We run a thing on our YouTube channel called The Clone Wars. Little plug there. Go check that out.
Nice.
And on a almost weekly basis, we pair 2 clones against each other and see how they sound. And that is a lot of fun. The Centura has been a big hit over there.
So the Centura, for everybody that doesn't know what clone you're talking about.
That's right, the Centura from Seriatone.
And that's the clone specifically.
Clone.
Now, is that specific to the open horsey tail or no horsey, or?
I'm not sure, honestly, if it's specific to either one. You can order the enclosures with a horse on it or without, and they come in black, gold, silver, and
are they the
polished
proper style enclosures or just regular boxes?
No, they're the proper. They got the ridges and everything.
Wow,
they're really.
Nice.
I mean, it's a fantastic pedal. I have never had the opportunity to play a true clone, but based on all of these clones that I've played, this thing is just in general, it's a incredible pedal. And from all the stuff I've read and people I've talked to, it's pretty darn close to the original, one of the closest out there. So,
can I just I just want to make a note of something really quick. You run Pedal of the Day.
Yep.
You've been doing this how many years?
6.5.
6.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
A pedal every day, roughly. And you haven't played a real clone yet. Now, real clone. You played plenty of real clones, but you haven't played a real clone. And I'm saying that so that people out there who haven't don't feel like I haven't played one that everybody's played. No, that's lots of people haven't played those. So
maybe everybody could just chip in that wants to try one, and then we could just circulate it.
Oh, that's a great idea.
I could save up and buy one of those, or I could have demos for like 2 months. So
Actually,
it's not really a tricky decision on my part.
It isn't. And
I can't honestly, it would be really hard to justify. I'm far from wealthy. So spending $2,000 for one pedal is
even if you
not
were
really
wealthy, it's not really something you can.
If I was wealthy,
justify.
I'd get one because I want to see what it's all about. But not in my current state. No.
Yes,
Zachary had one for a while.
he did.
So yeah, he's our guy. Zachary had for about I don't know a couple months, and I mean I played through it. It sounds good. He said he hasn't really heard a clone. And
sound $4,000 good.
According to him, yeah, and I trust his opinion.
Yeah. All right.
Wow.
Yeah, he said he hasn't really heard anything that beats it, but I don't know. He just has one of those ears.
Yeah, or two. All right, Mike. What's next?
Just one.
Up next is the fuzz modulated delay space reverb called the Black Hole Symmetry. You guys heard of that one?
No, don't try to say that again either.
It's from Collision Devices. They're in France. It is a wild pedal. The delay and the reverb are just super out there, but in a really great way. And then there's a giant knob in the middle for you to kick on fuzz that is just blistering.
Wow.
And so the range of tones you can get from that pedal it's pretty incredible.
Fantastic. So that's a pretty big noisemaker. Sounds like. Is that a real big box or what like?
It has 3-foot switches, so it's maybe 6 inches across. It's not huge, but it's and there's lots of dials and lots of fun to be had.
Wow, very cool, very cool. And that's from France.
Yep. Collision Devices.
Check that one out.
Okay, how about number 3?
Next, old trusty standby, the Strymon Flint.
Yes, there you go.
Tremolo reverb combination, really hard to beat that. The different modes for each of those sides are, they just sound great. They sound like those old tube amps, and you can do anything with it. Surf rock, ambient stuff,
Ambient
great.
surf rock.
Ambient surf rock,
Oh.
sure. Indie rock, surf clown. I don't know.
Surf clown, is that
Surf
that a new genre that I'm not aware of?
Trust me, it's coming up. Keep your eye out.
Oh yeah,
Surf clown.
Yeah. Insane
so yeah.
surf clown posse. Yes.
Hey,
Can't wait.
Only the best. They all drink Faygo.
that's right. Exactly.
So yeah, the Strymon Flint, incredible. And then my last one is a pedal that I've had for probably 17 years, and it's an old Boss DM3. Now I know that the DM2 is the more revered of the vintage Boss delays, but there's just something about that DM3 that I fell in love with a long time ago and haven't had any desire to get rid of it.
So it's a sentimental thing.
Well, it's sentimental, and it also sounds fantastic. It just adds a little bit. The max delay time is only 300 milliseconds, I think, but it just adds a nice presence to any rig and just kind of beefs up your tone in just a gorgeous way. So that's number 4.
And it's worked for you for 17 years, which again, it's a Boss pedal.
It has.
So
It's a Boss pedal.
Yeah.
I work for another 1,700.
exactly. Well, cool, man. Thanks for sharing. That's 4 very interesting pedals. And
all fun.
Yeah, 2 of them I for sure have not heard of. 2, yeah. So I'll be checking those out after this. And that must have been kind of a tough decision considering, the game you're in with pedal of the day.
Yep. That's why I said, these things change fairly often. And
Sure.
those were just, I kind of went around the office and tried to pick out 4 that I use fairly regularly or that I don't see getting rid of in the near future. And those were the 4 I came up with. So
Awesome.
Are giant, messy, and tangled patch cables ruining your jamming sessions? Well, no more.
That's right, Tony Baloney, because Tour Gear Design's flat pedal cables are the perfect upgrade for a neat, clean, and smart. Amp up the performance quality of your guitar pedal board cables. They're available in single 3-packs and a standard C shape, as well as the unique S shape that Jared mentioned. Now that standard C shape, that especially they've got a 3-inch one that you can go from top mount jack pedal to top mount jack pedal, and it's like the perfect distance. So you don't have to waste a bunch of time and screwing around with what cable is going to fit. What's just like, no, just pop those in. You're good to go. These things really are fantastic. We all have them here on the show, Tony and Jared and I. And we've really been blown away by the quality and usefulness of these things. And
Todd.
Yes, sir.
They are so flat, it's an insult to call them a pancake. I would say they're a crepe cable.
I agree.
Sure. We'll clear that with their legal if they want to do that. But yeah, they're if anybody doesn't know about that, they're flat cables, and they are incredibly well made and very well designed. And the actual diameter of the footprint of the plug is as big as the actual jack. So
is as small as the actual jack.
It is as small as the actual jack. Anyways, they are our proud sponsors of the 4 on the Floor segment, which we love dearly here. You can go to tourgeardesigns.com/discount/the guitar knobs. Why, you ask? Did anybody ask why?
Why?
Because you can get a 10% off for that.
Holy moly.
That's right. All you need to do is go there and you get 10% off your entire order, everybody. Okay? So go check that out. That is tourgeardesigns.com/discount/the guitar knobs and get your pedal board in gear. Whoosh.
I just want to say, I love those things too. Those guys sent some stuff over for me to try out, and I've been using them in some demos, and especially on the Clone Wars stuff. And I can't believe how thin they got them.
Yeah, it's mind blowing. It's crazy. Yeah,
and they sound great. They're like super high quality, and I don't know how they did it, but yeah, good stuff.
Yes. Well, actually, they told us how they did it on one of our previous episodes, everybody. So if you really do want to go get the full story, and I suggest you do because it was a great episode, check that out. And that was just a few episodes back. So, all right, let's move on. Mike Burnt from Pedal of the Day on Instagram. We're really excited to talk to you about the thing that you do on Instagram, because chances are, if you've got a phone and you like guitars, you're probably seeing one of his posts come up every single day in your feed. Now, how does one decide to do Pedal of the Day, Mike Byrne?
Well, I had a small pedal board and I wanted some more pedals. And I thought maybe if I did some reviews, then maybe people would send me some pedals. And then they did. That was about it. That was February of 2014. I started doing that. I started just with the pedals that I had at my house, and just kind of cold emailed some companies and started getting some stuff. And then about a year later, I decided I needed to up the game a little bit, and so I started doing demo videos and started the YouTube channel. And it just kind of took off. I can't really explain it, but it's been a lot of fun.
That's awesome. Well, it certainly provides a lot of enjoyment for those of us who have subscribed to your Instagram. And it's one thing to say, oh, okay, cool, here's a cool picture, but you are mixing up actual demos, which is really cool. I suppose that it would make it a bit difficult in some instances with some of the pedals that you get, based on the type of guitar player you are, the type of music that you like. Has that ever really been an issue with you?
I mean, I try to do the demos to fit the style of the pedal, and sure, you run into stuff that's not maybe in your comfort zone, but I think that's kind of fun. You as musicians, I think we always want to push ourselves, and getting a piece of gear that is not comfortable and that you have to sit down and work with, and then try to try to come up with riffs or chord progressions that are going to fit that can be daunting and frustrating, but also I think a good learning experience.
Now, as far as your riffing and guitar playing goes, how did you get? We'll get back to all the pedals and the pedal of the day stuff, but I want to just kind of find out how you got into being a guitar enthusiast in the first place. Where did that all start?
Well, first of all, I'm a drummer. Get that out of the way. I started drumming when I was 8.
Like Dr. Z.
Like Dr. Z.
And Jim Marshall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both drummers.
So that's my first love always. I got a $100 Charvel neon yellow copy of something when I was 12, and took some lessons from a guy that didn't even teach me the names of the strings or any chords. He just asked me what songs I wanted to learn and wrote them in a tab book. So I didn't learn really too much from him, and the guitar sort of fell by the wayside for about 8 years until I bought an acoustic. And when I was about 20, I'm not 20 anymore, so I've been playing for about 23 years. And then I got an electric eventually, and my buddy gave me a couple lessons and just kind of taught myself.
And what kind of stuff are you into? Like maybe right now, you don't have to give us your life story of the different kinds of music you've been into, but like what are you into right now playing? Like
band wise or just genre or?
Yeah, all that stuff.
I don't know. Like, I'm not, especially with the COVID stuff going on, I'm not playing with anybody at the moment. Before this all went down, I was doing kind of 2 groups, doing guitar and drums. One was kind of a fusion jazz trio that we would all kind of swap instruments. And then the other one is just sort of a 3-piece rock band, Mm-hmm. We just kind of come up with some stuff and chord progressions and whatnot and just kind of jam. So that's what I was doing right before all this stuff. And now these days I'm kind of playing to the pedals, honestly, depending on what comes in. I try to come up with riffs or lines that will fit whatever the pedals are. And sometimes in the case of that arcade machine I was talking about before, it's just notes because chords get way too muddy and it's not a chord pedal. So again, just trying to fit the style of the pedals and come up with stuff I think people might like to listen to.
Are there pedals specifically that you gravitate towards as far as their actual like purpose or mode, I suppose? Like drive or modulation or reverb or anything like.
Delay is my favorite always. I think there's so much you can do, from short delays to long spacey stuff to self oscillation to modulated gooiness. I mean, there's that genre is pretty endless as far as what you can do. So that's, if I had to pick one, that would be my go-to.
Modulated gooiness.
Yeah, you're getting all kinds of them today. Yeah,
that's fantastic. Now, when you are when you're demoing these things, you mentioned something that actually I got to experience in a very small way, because we'll get pedals in, and we talked about this on the phone previously. Both of us are actually in similar lines of actual work, and doing this stuff on the side is actually really, really time consuming.
Yeah.
So when people send stuff or we get requests to do like, oh, hey, you need to make a demo out of that. Oh, that's such a cool pedal. Can't wait to hear it. I'm like, I'd love to, but that's just that much more. And also I don't really have the super awesome, mic setup and which is a crap excuse. I know. But when I have it on the fly, I'm like, well, I can set up my phone and that's going to knock it out and I can get this done quick, or I can make this a 2.5 hour thing.
Right.
And so when in doubt, I just go, all right, I'm just going to set up the phone and everything. And it's interesting because when you were saying about playing to the pedal, I think that's one of the things that is really neat when you do get a pedal, and like you said, that pushes you. So we got the Xander Circuitry Junipero, and
yeah, cool. I was talking to Alex. He's gonna send one.
oh man,
whenever
you're gonna love that thing.
He's sending it. It's coming from somewhere in the U.S., so he might be sending it.
It started at my house, and it's probably made as that's what he does. He'll send it over here, and then it starts making its way around.
I'm excited about that one.
It's a really fantastic pedal. People out there, I'm telling you, you will love this pedal. So what was interesting in that is that is a pedal that doesn't necessarily sync up with the type of music I'm typically playing to for my band. So I said, well, I gotta stretch a little here. And, I love lots of different kinds of music, especially guitar music. So,
sure.
This one specifically called for some, I was thinking like Lush or My Bloody Valentine or something like that. And I had an absolute blast doing it because I was doing something that I don't typically do, but I'm familiar with. And so I was like, oh yeah, this sounds great. Hey, maybe I can start a shoegaze band. I won't, everybody. Don't worry. But yeah, it was really fun. And I found myself playing in a different way, which means I was exploring different types of, aside from what I recorded in the video, I kept playing for a long time because it's an amazing pedal. I was like, wow, I want to keep playing this. And it was just really interesting because it's like, it's like if you put on a different outfit that you're not used to wearing, you're like, wow, I feel like a different kind of person altogether in this. It's kind of nice. So I would encourage people to, that's a great excuse to borrow and share pedals. If it's not like the kind of thing that you do on a typical basis, but someone else is raving about it, it's like, stretch out a little bit. It's not going to kill you. Try that wacky pedal and see what it does for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when we get stuff in, a lot of times it'll be, there's a lot of people make 3-knob overdrives. And so for the most part, you kind of know what you're getting with those types of pedals, and I like to sit down and test out each pedal for a while just to get the nuances of it and figure out how everything works and see what hidden Easter eggs they've hidden in the controls and all that stuff. And so, the overdrives typically are sort of, hey, that sounds rocking awesome. But there are some pedals like I'm sure the Junipero and others like it, where you just get lost and all of a sudden an hour's gone by.
Yeah.
And you're still sitting on your floor going, what I don't even know how I'm going to attempt to narrow this down into some kind of cohesive video. So those are the pedals that like you said, or like I said before, really, really push you and get you outside your comfort zone. Yeah.
It's a great way to get out of a rut. We've talked about being in sort of playing ruts or guitar ruts many, many times on the show. And it can be from anything from like borrowing your friend's an amp that just sounds very different, or rearranging your pedals, or trying a totally new pedal, or going no pedal. I mean, there's anything that you're doing that can disrupt what you're stuck in is going to force you to hear things differently, and probably it's not going to force you to play. Your brain's going to want to play a little differently. And that's where that's where I've actually found myself doing like, oh, wow, this would be really cool if I did it this way and apply it to this kind of stuff I'm playing in my band. It doesn't have to necessarily affect why I sound differently, but here I am playing these different things that I wouldn't normally plug into what I do for the band. So
sure. And it might be something that you come up with that you may not use, or you may use it quickly and then decide that it's not for you, but that little piece has been sort of imprinted on your brain.
Yeah.
And I think maybe subconsciously it will come out in your playing later on down the road, whether you are aware of it or not, which is cool. Because you can, I'll take all those different experiences, and that I think is what furthers everybody as guitarists as they move along.
Indeed. Okay, so a couple things that I would love to know, having gone through so many pedals, I want to ask a couple things about, I guess if you 30,000 foot view of your experience here. What do you think is the obsession with the rat? Tell me about that from your perspective.
The rat. I've played lots of rats. Ones from the 80s, ones newer release ones, reissues, modded stuff from JHS and Keeley. I mean, it's a great little distortion pedal. Absolutely. Do I think it's the end all be all of distortion pedals? No.
Mm-hmm.
No, not so much. I mean, it's great. Don't get me wrong, and I hope there's no super rat enthusiasts that come and trash my YouTube channel or anything. But I like the variety. The folks that major players that have had the same pedal board for decades. I don't know how they do that, and it works for some people, and that's fantastic. But I love having options and being able to swap stuff out, because I find it bumps up the creativity more. So the Rat is a great pedal, and I have one. It's awesome. I rock it out sometimes, but there's lots of fantastic distortion pedals out there, and I just like to try as many of them as I can.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I have in my possession two rat clones from recent guests that I think I would really, if you haven't gotten them, I think I'd like to maybe get in your hands and you can see what you would do with them.
Where are they from?
Well, one is from the municipal water. And then the other one is from Blammo.
I've not checked out pedals from either of those guys, so that would be something we should talk about.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We'll do that. And that's the one thing that I think I'm personally finding a lot of fun with that, because nobody's going, well, this is a Rat 3 knob. Like not everybody, most people at this stage are going, I'm going to do this, but I'm also doing this and this.
Right.
And just even within those variances, there's like hugely different sounds that you can get out of it. So
sure.
And just the sheer collectability of it is kind of cool. I mean, I think it'd be really interesting just to see what an entire board of Rat clones sound like.
Sure.
Okay, so that's number one, Rat. Now, when we talked on the phone a little bit, I said, hey, I'd love for you to talk about some of the trends that you've seen ebb and flow in the years that you've been doing this. Can you talk about one that you are seeing right now and what your thoughts are on it, being, having to review all of these pedals?
Well, one thing, I think pedals just in general are becoming a lot smarter, if that is a term. There's still lots of folks making the simple knob, 3 knob, 4 knob stuff that I still love, but with all the it seems like there's been kind of a wave of the fractals and the Line 6 stuff, and just, I mean, you can carry your whole rig in like a briefcase, basically,
Yeah.
And I think I think it's cool. Right. Yeah. The Line 6 one is super teeny, and it's great. It sounds awesome. That said, I wouldn't really have a gig here if I went that route. So
yes, everyone, the end all be all is
right.
the HX stump. So there you go.
That's it. I'm out. Peace. So
mic drop, literally.
Right. Again, different stuff that works for different people. I think they sound great. I haven't tried a fractal or any of the high end stuff, but I love the little HX stomp. That's a great one. I demoed that with a little controller from Jet Pedals, and that little controller opens it up so much. It's a great little plug there. But I I think that playing with pedals and unplugging and plugging in new stuff and creating that way is a little. I definitely lean more towards that. I like the trend that more people can travel easier and maybe gigs aren't as hard on the back, but
they aren't right now anyway. That's for sure.
Well, yeah, for sure. Unless you're playing in an abandoned warehouse, I don't know.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I'm gonna want to lug a big board around that's full of super fun individual effects, I think.
Was there a particular wave of pedal trend that you were just like, man, I swear, if I have to do another one of these, or what is going on here?
Honestly, I have not really run into that because there's such a diverse collection of stuff that has come through the office. I don't really have time to nitpick how many of what thing is coming in because they're all so different and I think they're all really fun. Mm-hmm. There are people that like hate chorus and people that, think boosts are stupid and, that like everything has a place and everything is fun to experiment with. And that's kind of the whole point of Pedal of the Day. So if I was to engage in any of those, the bashing or the haters, it would kind of defeat the purpose of what I'm doing. So yeah. I try to kind of stay out of that whole thing and just put my head down and play some fun gear.
Us too. There's too much of that stuff in the world for us to be doing it here, man. I mean, no plain doubt. And simple. So
no doubt.
Now, has there been a pedal that has just flat out stumped you that you can recall?
Stumped, like,
well, just
figure out how to work it.
Yeah, or either figured out how to work it or say, I just don't get this.
I mean, there are some that are. I mean, I don't want to pick out names or pick on anybody. There are some pedals that come with manuals that are, the size of phone books, and again, if you're really going to get invested into this pedal and you want to put in that time, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. But having limited time on my end here, I try to dig into the super pedals and figure out as much stuff as I can and find what's going to work for a good demo. But a lot of times with the more complicated stuff, it's hard to really get everything out of that pedal, So there's not really one specific one. There's some that come in.
That's more of an open-ended question. And I certainly wasn't I don't like the idea of bashing anybody. So that was the response that I think we're looking for. I freely admit that I had one, and this is the opposite of a bash. This is, we got sent the Zoya pedal.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah. I have not been able to. That's actually a really good example because I have not been able to wrap my head around that one well enough yet to demo it. I have it. It's here, but it's tricky.
Before it came out, I was engaged in like a beta test for it and stuff, and he was really gracious in sending it, and I was really excited about it. Like I couldn't wait. We got it, and then I just said, "Wow, I am really, honestly, I'm not really worthy of this machine right now." and it was just sort of like, I just kind of one kneed, held it above my head and said, I'm sorry, I have to yield this back to you because it wasn't for me personally. Not because I didn't like it. It's because it is for a specific kind of person that wants to take the time to like literally create their own HX stomp pretty much.
Yeah.
Or pedal effects. There's no, well, I don't think there's any amp involved in that if I can remember, but I'm pretty sure it isn't. And it was just like really sort of humbling. I was like, wow, I'm really amazed that they came up with this, that they built a machine that allows you to build many machines within a machine. It's like, okay, I give up because and it was, I really did appreciate them sending it out and letting us at least try. But making some. I mean, I'm just amazed at what people come up with and what people make. It's fascinating and awesome. And I just, dang it, I love it.
Again, though, I think that it's if you have the time that you can invest in it,
Exactly.
it's going to blow your mind, and it's going to be a fantastic machine and piece of your rig. But given the limited time and how much all this stuff that we do takes, how much time it all takes, that's one of those ones that you really want to put the time in, and it's just, it can be tricky.
Yeah.
So I hear you on that one.
Are there any pedals that are just on your absolute bucket list?
That I have to have?
Yeah.
Oh man, you should have told me that yesterday.
Well, it should be it should be like a gut thing, it's like
An original clone?
Honestly, no. I mean, again, it would be cool, but I like the way all these clones sound. I mean, I probably have, 30 clones here, and they all sound awesome.
Yeah.
I'd rather think of much more stuff I could spend $2 to $4K on.
Yeah.
I've never played through an RE301. The big ones like the Brian Setzer uses. I've never played through one of those. I love the little RE20 that Boss put out, but I've never played through.
I kick myself. The one came up at the local used music store, and I said, I should get that. And I probably said that to myself like 2 or 3 more times, and like at the second time I said it, someone had bought it. I was like, because it was a really good price. But
yeah,
one
of those, and like an old Echoplex, like a real one.
Yeah.
I've never played through one of those, and not that I know there's lots of upkeep and maintenance and stuff with that, and probably stuff that's way over my head. But I think it would be fun at some point to sit down and play through one. I would like to do that to each of those units at some point. I hope I get to.
Yeah, I can see that. Now, one thing that I think would be really amazing, because what you're saying, like, imagine if at like one of the NAMM things or something like that, or one of the bigger shows, there was an admission room, you have to have a ticket. You have to get in there, and you basically can go up to like, the rig of all rigs, which is all those pedals, and a open tail horsey and all this stuff, and you just get to play it out of like some really amazing rig.
Yeah,
that would be pretty cool, right?
That would be awesome.
that would be worth the price of admission.
Sure. Yeah, I'd grab a ticket for that.
Yeah, somebody go do that. Please. No, really. We'd love that. Awesome, man. Well, I'm excited for some of the ones that you have coming up, as you were mentioning. Tell us about what's coming up.
What's coming up? Let's see. I mentioned the Wild and Crazy arcade machine, and that's a fun one. It's I'm not sure exactly how you would use it in a live situation, but it is super fun, and I'm sure that people can figure out how to use it, because it's there's music for it out there. I promise. Sorry. What else do I got coming up? The Swarm from Beatronics.
Oh yeah,
that's fuzz harmonizer noise machine. It's so cool. I love that one. I've got let's see. Oh, you guys know Pladask Electrisk?
No.
Where are they from? In Europe somewhere. They make crazy machines. We did their Draume reverb a little while ago, and got the Fabricat granular synth coming up. Super interesting. Check those guys out. Their pedals are really hard to get.
Will do.
They make really small batches, and they sell out really fast. So,
and what are they called again?
Pladask Electrisk.
Pladask Electrisk. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a few Eastern European builders that just seem incredibly interesting.
So much fun stuff coming out of Europe all of a sudden. Well, not really all of a sudden. I mean, I've been in touch with people overseas since I started doing this, and there's lots of fun stuff coming out just from across the pond everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. And also one of our previous guests a long time back, Dr. No, I believe is still selling the last couple of those famous Moon Canyon pedals. Might want to go check that out, people, because that's never coming back. He's made that abundantly clear. And that pedal, I mean, the entire box, the whole presentation, everything is like, it's the bar is so high on that.
Yeah, describe what means.
The functionality of it is one thing. So like what the pedal does itself is pretty remarkable, the way that the effects work with each other. But aside from that, I have a great appreciation for the artistic just juice that went into this thing, and it's done to absolute perfection. The design, the 3D modeling of some of the bits around it, the enclosure is put into this fabricated box that looks like a novel, and everything's totally over the top, and it's really amazing. And there's a whole storybook thing that goes with it. It's really it's very impressive that someone not only came up with the idea, but followed through with it to the degree that he has. So a very dedicated, creative person. Okay. Woo, doggies. Well, we learned an awful lot about Mike. Hopefully if I'm sure you are already familiar, but if you're not, certainly your interest has been piqued, I would say, at this point. So go check out Pedal of the Day on Instagram. Yep. Tony Baloney, is Jared still alive over there?
I think so. I just don't hear him.
Jared.
I'm right here.
Jared.
I'm right here.
Jared.
You know you hear me, fool.
Test 1, 2, 3.
Hit it, homie.
Now is the time in the show where we have to make a decision. So, would you rather?
Very nice.
Thank you. This week's Would You Rather, I kind of came up with this one, and I hope you guys like it because it's weird. Okay. So you're walking down the street, and you find this door, and you find out that there are two dimensions. There are two realities. In the first reality in existence, you are famous in your own band, and you have your own signature Gibson. Okay? So that's pretty awesome. Like, I don't know, Joe Perry, he's got his own Gibson, and other people do, and custom shop Gibsons. You know what I'm saying?
Other people do.
At least one or two others.
Yeah.
Couple.
Yeah, Jimmy Page, that guy, that one guy.
Yeah.
That one guy there, yeah. Now, in the second dimension, you have a choice. You can be in the second dimension, however, it's a little bit different. Or, here's the alternative dimension. You are the original guitar player for the Beatles. You are a Beatle, and you always were in this dimension, if you can imagine that. And your number one guitar that you played, and that you will always... Right, and that you will always be known for is a harmony. So what would you rather be in? Your own band, which, whatever, I don't know, it's probably not the Beatles, right? But you do have your own signature guitar.
I think we've narrowed that down.
Maybe the Valentinos.
Right. What would you rather do?
All right. Okay. Let's see what happens here. Tony Baloney.
Well, I'm not so sure I want to be one of the original Beatle guitar players, they're dead. So in your dimension there, I'm still alive though, right?
Yeah, of course everybody is.
Okay. Yeah, I'd go with that. I've played plenty of harmonies that I love. And so I'd be okay with being known for playing a harmony.
Oh, you're not supposed to like the harmony.
I love the harmonies. I'm a weirdo. What can I say?
It's a little slanted here. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're right.
It's not the guitar. It's the music, dude.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that one was pretty easy considering Tony's background.
Yeah.
How about you, Jared?
I want to be in my own band. I want to be famous. I want my own band to be famous. I want to know what that's like, And the name on the Gibson Les Paul on the Truss Rod cover would be pretty awesome too.
Really? You're not going to go with an SG?
Nah.
You got that's your thing.
Yeah, SGs and Les Pauls. I guess it's more of a 50-50.
Okay. All right.
Maybe you could have Jared inlaid into the fretboard.
Oh yeah.
Or like they did in the 50s and just put my big name and decals on the guitar.
Yeah,
that's right. You could do that.
So what Jared, what model are you taking?
Oh,
you
that's
said
a good
Les Paul,
question.
but let's be specific here.
I'll go with a Black Beauty custom, a 2 pickup model.
Yeah.
That's what I would want.
But what if in that warped dimension that model never existed?
Well, then I'd go with the white one. And paint it black. No, I would go with the SG, I think. It's a lighter guitar.
Okay.
Still sounds really good. Yeah.
All right, cool. Tony, is there a specific harmony or does that count?
I've played, a bunch of, harmony rockets. There's actually some higher end harmonies that are pretty good.
Don't the harmony rocket bodies, aren't they kind of small compared to the neck?
No, I don't think so. I mean, they're maybe a hair smaller than like a 335, but I think they're in scale with the others.
You know what? I was thinking of a different model, obviously. I'm sorry.
You might be.
Yeah.
All right. Mike, how about yourself?
I'm with Jared on this. I would like to be in my own band and have the Mike B signature SG. I'd have to go with an SG as well. And I think that'd be pretty rad to have my own version. People would buy it and say, "Who the hell is this guy?" But in this alternate universe, they would know who I was. So
exactly,
it would all work out.
I see.
What about you, Todd? What are you going with, my friend?
All right. I am going to go with that last one too, because I'm in one and I'm trying. And here's the thing. I was going to go with my go-to guitar is a Gibson double cut with mini trapezoid inlay. I love that guitar.
It's a good one.
All right. We got to thank a few people. We do. And Tony's going to do it right now.
Let's do it.
You're right, Todd. We do have to thank a special group of people. That would be our executive producers. And now people are wondering maybe, what is an executive producer? And more importantly, how do I get into that fun group? Here's what you do. Go over to patreon.com/the guitar knobs. And you will find a couple of different levels in which you can participate in becoming a patron, a sponsor, if you will, of this very podcast, The Guitar Knobs. There's a couple of different levels, as I said, but the top of the heap, if you will, would be the executive producer level. And each level comes with its wonderful thank you gifts of things like keychains and stickers and picks and T-shirts and flashlights and... oh gosh, whatever. There's so many things. And did I mention giveaways? Oh yes. How about those giveaways?
They're fun
and exciting
and free.
Yes.
But one thing that happens when you're an executive producer, and I can't quite remember what it is, but Jared, I think you'll remind me.
Of course, you get to have your name read on the thing.
Your name read on the thing, and that's what I'm going to do right now. So a special thanks to Mr. Tom Barazin, Martin Cliff, John Daly, Chris Carney, Darren Gregory, Doug Christ, Michael Van Zant, Ken Sayers, Brian Robison, Michael Senchuk, Stefan Lamb, Johnny Knowles, Anthony Lathrop, John Anglin, Tyler Bray, Brad Partridge, Chris Heidel, John Esteley, Tim Nowak, Doug Gann, Justin Jones, Brett Alexander, James White, Matt Hart, Liam Martin, James Pennington, Richard Kendall, and Levi Main. Thanks, guys.
Right.
But wait, don't jump in there just yet, Todd, because there's more. There's just a step above the executive producers. We call them our grand poobahs. These are our fez-wearing brethren that, if I am not mistaken, they are required to wear their fezes during any time they listen to the podcast. Is that right, Todd?
That is true.
It is true.
They do proudly.
I've seen them. They've posted pictures in their fezes.
Yeah.
So a special thanks to these Grand Poobah members. That would be Jonathan Jerusik, Corey Nigro, David Kaminga, Cody Lane, Cody Foster, Sean S.
Yes.
Tommy Manasco, Mark Garton, Christopher Marshall, Adam Johnson, and Steve Keys. A special tip of the fez to our Grand Poobahs.
Yep.
Right on. Thank you so very much. We appreciate it. I just can't say it enough. So thank you all very, very much. Anyways, all right. So, hey, everybody, make sure that you get on over to check out Mike Burnt, Pedal of the Day on Instagram, and also the Clone Wars, which I'm super excited to go watch on YouTube. Can you want to give a shout on where that they can find that exactly?
It's just a playlist that's on our channel. So if you head over and subscribe, please, you can find that playlist. And there's also a playlist of every demo that we've done. So all you have to do is hit play and then sit at your computer for about 4 days. And every time a new one loads, just click the thumbs up, and that would be fantastic. Now, when you have to get up and take a break, do whatever you need to do. When you come back, before you hit play again, you can also head over to our Patreon account and sign up. We put a lot of work into these demos, and any help out would be much appreciated.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's a great idea.
Help him out.
Yes. Because he's got a regular day job. He's got a day job.
Day job?
He's got a day job. That's what you sound like at the end of the day after you have a day job.
That's right.
Yep.
And Tony, where can people find you?
Just head over to pickguardian.com. You'll find some of the goofy stuff that I do there, stuff that's available for sale. But, it's 90% of what I do is all custom. So just shoot me an email. Tell me what you need. We'll discuss materials. We'll discuss design, whatever. And we'll just, I'll take care of it. We'll make it right.
Work with.
We'll give you what you want.
That's right.
Awesome. Jared?
Well, if anybody needs some pickups repaired, or heck, you want some nice shiny new pickups on your guitar, or some old looking pickups that are still brand new, go to brandonwoundpickups.com. I will gladly work with you if you need something custom, if you need something to sound a certain way that you can't get out of your current pickups. Just drop me a line and we'll figure it out.
Awesome. You can send me an email, todd@theguitarknobs.com, and tell me what a buffoon I am, and and all the wrong things I say.
That's my job.
That's true.
It's fun.
We are humbly yours, people and fans and listeners. So you can also shoot me a DM on Instagram @guitarknobs. Ladies and gentlemen, we are really stoked that you have been listening to this show. We are grateful to Mike Burnt for joining us. It's been great talking with him, and glad to have him as a new pal. So make
Thanks,
sure
guys.
absolutely, man. Make sure you go check him out and have a fantastic guitar week and subscribe.
Yeah.
Anyways,
You doubt the master.
I never doubt you.
Here I am.
It's like a toilet in outer space. Okay. See what I got to deal with, Mike?
Yeah.
I like crepes.
I'll check back in with Jared in a second, see if he's got all that food down his gullet.
Signor Baloney.
Every time he gets a spoonful of soup, and did you ever talk to Andy from Pedalboard of the Day? By the way, just out of curiosity, it's like, shouldn't you guys be talking all the time?
You think so?
Like, you're not eating soup or talking. What are you doing? Yeah. Hey, you cooking up a would you rather for us there, Pally boy?
I don't know.
Good man. All right.
Because you were so intently
Yeah.
pursuing the soup.
I'm gonna get this soup in my mouth. You guys just wait.
I mean,
And away we go.
I have a fish stick in my mouth. I was not ready for you.
Are you sure it's a fish stick?
Yeah.
Fish stick. Yes. Let's enunciate.
Oh my goodness.
A fish stick.
well,
All right.
Daddy, we want ice cream.
Can I get on the internet yet?
Yeah. Well, that's it for these knobs. Please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/theguitarknobs. Visit our website at theguitarknobs.com for all of our past episodes, 4 on the Floor blog, and other good stuff. You can connect with us on social too at our Facebook page and share your gear and stories on our Facebook group. Also, be sure to check out our Instagram at Guitar Knobs. Catch you next time.